Hey BoLS fans, AdamHarry back again with another BoLS unboxing. Today we are looking at the Rogues and Villains expansion pack for Star Wars Armada. This is a multi-purpose pack. It comes with 8 ships, 8 little guys for both the Rebels and the Empire. Again, we've got some of the classics in there like the Millennium Falcon. We've got the Slave 1 right there. We've got the IG-88 ships, the 2000. Then we've Houndstooth. We've got some of the other ones in there too. Dash Rendar ship. So I'm gonna pop this bad boy open and take a look. I'm pretty excited about this. Got the Moldy Crow. It's probably gonna have Dash Rendar, Kyle Katarn, Han Solo's got to be in there. Boba Fett's got to be in there. Dengar ship's there. IG-88, Bosk's in there, and then this mysterious one here, the Havoc, which is that ship right there, which is apparently that was based off of another ship that could be Scum or Rebel. So again, we'll take a look. But I'm excited to take a crack at this box. So here we go. Let's take a look at the Rogues and Villains expansion pack. And those things get me every time. They are tricky to open. Only because you need scissors, but let me go ahead and pull everything out here. That's what she said. Moving on. Okay, so that's just plastic there, tossed to the side. You've got the backing and then the contents. Sometimes they put rules on these things. Nope, irregular squadrons. So all squadrons expansions are irregular squadrons. Squadrons of this type feature a single plastic fighter model instead of 3, despite the difference in appearance. Irregular squadrons follow all the rules for normal squadrons. Good to know. We've got the dials and whatnot here. Go ahead and open this up. Let's do it live. We're doing it live! Okay. Those 2 of those. Alright. And we're going to have, whoa, all the ships. Little tiny guys, and we'll get into those in a minute. And then cards, which I'm pretty excited about. If I could open this for some reason. It is shut tight. Yeah, and I just ripped it. Okay, let me get some scissors. I'll lay all this out. Here we go. All right, we've got everything laid out here. Man, these ships are so tiny. It's pretty cool. The detail on them is actually not too bad. But we'll get into that more here in a bit. I just want to lay all these bad boys out here. They've got a lot of extra bits. Again, there's the 8 ships you're getting. And then those are the bases and everything. So we'll get into that in a minute. What else do we have here? So we've got the cards, all the different cards for the different ships. This is for the dials, defense tokens. Some of these ships actually do have things like brace, the one that ignores basically all the damage. So that's pretty good. Different dials again, more dials. Scum and Villainy, or excuse me, Rebels and Imperial dials for everybody. And then we have more defense tokens. You need a lot of them apparently, so quite a few braces, which is good for these ships. Let's take a closer look at the cards. So let me back these all off. And let's take a look at the cards. So first up, we have one of my personal favorites, the YT-1300, also known as the Millennium Falcon ship. And this is just the base one, it looks like. It's movement 2, which is kind of slow. But let me zoom out real quick. Movement 2, 7 hull, which is kind of fat. Squadron dice are 3 dice, which is pretty good. And this is against big ships. It's 1 die blue. Counter 1, so if after a squadron performs a non-counter attack against you, you may attack that squadron with an anti-squadron armament of 1 blue die, even if you're destroyed. So that can be pretty good. Escort, squadrons you're engaged with cannot attack squadrons that lack escort unless performing a counterattack. So this is one of the ships, because it's an escort, they have to attack you first, which could be really useful in some other situations. So that's the YT-1300. And then the upgrade to that, of course, the one and only Han Solo, again, riding solo. Where's Chewbacca? The Millennium Falcon here has movement 3 because he's made a few modifications. Hull 7. It's got 2 blue, 2 black anti-ship dice, which is pretty hot. And then against an actual capital ship, he's doing 1 blue, 1 black. Again, pretty hot. the start of your ship phase, you may activate this as if you were activated by a squadron command. So that's pretty good. You can move during the ship phase. Being a squadron, as I read earlier from the regular squadrons, that's pretty good. Grit, you are not prevented from moving while you are engaged by only one squadron, so you can just keep on flying. And Rogue, you can move and attack during the squadron phase. So if I'm reading that right, and I think I am, you can activate during the ship phase, as if you were activated by a squadron command, and you can activate during the rogue phase, or during the squadron phase, and move and attack. So that's one of the cool things about these new ships. Now keep in mind, the YT 1300 is 13 points, and Han Solo's 26 points, but Han also has 2 braces, which is pretty good. Then we have the YT 2400, probably one of my favorite ships of all time. It's speed 4, which is very fast, 6 hull, so still pretty good for a squadron. It's got 4 blue dice for anti-squadron fire and 1 black die against big ships, and it is rogue, so it can move and attack during the squadron phase. Again, most squadrons of TIEs, X-Wings, etc. can only move or attack during the squadron phase if they're activated during that time. And then, of course, we've got the man, Dash Rendar, probably second most toughest hombre in the Star Wars universe. Not really, but me personally, he's pretty awesome. Dash Rendar Outrider, I'm definitely going to be running this guy. I might have to switch to Rebels. Anyway, still working on Shadows of the Empire. It's a tough game. Half of it is. It's move 4, hull 6, same as the other one. It's got 4 blue dice for squadron and 1 black against ships. While attacking, you reroll 1 die from each enemy squadron or enemy ship at distance 1. Wow! So if you're swarmed and you get attacked or whatever, you can reroll 1 die for each ship. So 4 TIE swarms come at you. You're rolling 4 dice. You can reroll all of your dice if they're at distance 1. It is a bomber, so when attacking a ship, each of your crit icons adds 1 damage to the damage total, and you can resolve a critical effect, which is pretty saucy. And then Rogue, you can move and attack during the squadron phase, which is pretty good. Again, I think that's going to be the theme that we see across the board here. And he's got 2 brace tokens, which is pretty cool. Hawk 290, which is a speed 3, it's a little bit slower. 4 hull. Again, this was a support ship in X-Wing, so this one's may fill the same role here. We'll keep reading here. 2 blue die on squadron attack, 1 blue die against a ship. Counter 2, so if you get attacked, you get to roll 2 dice back, which is pretty good, even if you're destroyed. And intel, while an enemy squadron is at distance 1 of you, it has heavy, which is an interesting debuff mechanic. Okay, and the upgraded version, again, that one's 12 points. Jan Ors and the Moldy Crow, same ship, but upgraded here. It's 19 points upgrade. Everything else is the same. Put them side by side, how about that? Yep. 3-4, no big deal, change there. 1 extra attack die, which is nice. Counter 2, which stays the same. Intel, which stays the same. She gets 2 braces, which is a plus. And then while a friendly squadron is at distance 1 or 2, this is defending, it can spend 1 of your defense tokens. That's pretty cool. That's a good way to keep some ships alive. I can already see that comboing with stuff like the YT 1300, where you can have an escort ship that you have to take out, and now he's using Jan Orr's defense tokens. So it's pretty good. It's a great way to keep ships alive. So for the extra dice, I mean, for 7 more points, seems like pretty much a no-brainer for me. Then we have the Skurg H6 bomber, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the upgrade next to him here, and this is a Rebel upgrade of all things, not a scum ship. There was some speculation that it would be a scum ship, but maybe we'll see this in X-Wing too. The Skurg H6 bomber, the base one here is 16 points. It's speed 3, hull 6, two dice against a squadron, a blue, that were blue, and then against a ship, blue and a black. It is a bomber, so again, you can use crits. It has grit, so you're not prevented when engaged by other squadrons, and then it has heavy. You do not prevent engaged squadrons from attacking ships or moving, so that's what heavy does. So basically, you don't engage. And then Nim is the specialty Havoc pilot, same stats across the top. It has on a blue crit, the defender is a ship. You may choose and discard 1 of its defense tokens. Wow, that's a blue crit. It's a kind of a rare ability, but still, and it is bomber. Again, you can use the crits, and it has grit. And he's only 5 more points. He's 21 points and gets 2 braces. You know, for 5 points, that's not too shabby at all. Now, notice this one doesn't have rogue or anything like that, and neither did the Moldy Crow with Jan Ors. So this one's got to activate like a regular squadron. So interesting, interesting. We got the Fire Spray up next, and of course we've got the upgrade as Boba Fett. Got to have the Fett. This is where we get to the Imperials here. 3/6. There's a 3 speed, 6 hull, the same. Looks like Boba's got an extra blue attack dice. The base Fire Spray 31 is packing 3, and then for against squadrons and 2 blue against ships. It's pretty solid. Boba's packing 4 against squadrons and a blue and a black against ships. It's pretty good. Both are bombers. Both have the rogue, so you can move and attack during your squadron phase. That's definitely a plus. Boba's special ability: when you activate, choose one enemy ship or squadron at distance 1. That ship or squadron suffers 1 damage. Just 1 auto damage when you activate them. That's pretty good. So, and enemy ship or squadron. So just take a point of damage for funsies. And Boba also comes with 2 braces. So that's pretty good. And he's 26 points. He's 8 points more than the base Fire Spray. That ability is pretty mean. And, you know, 2 braces will definitely keep him alive a bit longer. But having that rogue ability is pretty cool. I like that. So that's what the Fire Spray and Boba do. Then we've got the YV666, and of course we've got Bossk and the Houndstooth as the upgraded version of that. He's both Imperial again. Bossk is a little bit faster. This is a 2/7, so 2 speed 7 hull. This one's 3 speed 7 hull. Packing some heat though. 2 blue and 2 black against other squadrons, and 1 blue against the ship. Bossk on the other hand is packing 4 black dice, which can be pretty mean. Against ships, and then a black and a blue against, 4 black dice against a squadron, and a black and a blue against ships. This one has grit, just like Bossk. It's heavy, so you don't slow people down, and it's a rogue, so you can move and attack during the squadron phase. For 15 points, that's pretty good. Bossk, on the other hand, while attacking, if you have 6 or fewer hull points remaining, you may add 1 blue die set to the accuracy to your attack pool. Wow. You just get a free accuracy if you've taken a hit. He has grit and he is a rogue, so rogue, you can move and attack during the squadron phase. Bossk, however, only has one brace, so he's for 23 points. Both of these options are pretty solid. Man, that's pretty good. I don't know why I'm thinking that right now, but I mean, I do know why. It's 4 black die. Man, if he gets in on a squadron, whew, he's gonna unload. That's what Bossk does, man. And then you get to add the accuracy dice, so if you're going against other named ships, you're gonna tear them up. It's pretty good. And then we have the Aggressor Assault Fighter. This is interesting. They show the Aggressor with all the other ships, and then of course IG-88 and the IG-2000. So this one's a speed 3, hull 5. This one's much faster at speed 5 and 5 hull, which is pretty good. 4 blue die on the attack against other squadrons, 1 black against ships, same here. Counter 1, so no matter what, you're taking pop shots back, and it is a rogue for 16 points. It's pretty solid as a squadron. This one is counter 2, so if you get blown up, you're still firing back, and then it's rogue, and then he's got the, I forgot what this one's called, but it's the one where you basically ignore the attack. So he's got 1 of those for 21 points. His special ability is you ignore escort and counter keywords on enemy squadrons. Wow. So he straight up can go bounty hunt whoever he feels like in the IG-2000 there. Then we have the Jumpmaster 5000. This is the last ship here. It is, of course, Dengar's ship. The Punishing 1 is the upgrade. So 4/4, so 4 speed, 4 hull. 2 blue against squadrons, 1 blue against ship. Dengar's an upgrade here. He's got 3 blue against squadrons and 1 black against ships. Intel, so he causes other ships to be heavy when they're distance 1, and Swarm. While attacking a squadron engaged with another squadron, you may reroll 1 die. It's always good. This one is, while attacking a squadron at distance 1 and 2, it has counter 1 or increases its counter value by 1. Well, that's pretty good. Friendly squadron gets an extra die for counter. Intel making heavy, and then Swarm again. And then he's got pretty decent defense here. The base one's only 12 points. Dengar's 20. But for 20 points, you're getting the 2 defense tokens, getting some decent firepower, and then he's a good little boost to other ships. So Dengar's pretty mean. And then while I'm zoomed in here, let's take a quick look at the ships. It's going to be really hard to tell what these ships are. Just, you know, they're tiny. The detail on them, though, it's kind of hard to tell with the current lighting, but they're actually pretty good detailed. Pretty nicely detailed. I mean, if I was FFG, probably have the CADs or whatever the files for these bad boys, and just shrinking them down to Armada size. It's a little bit better shot here. Let me move them closer so you guys can see. So, just a touch. So again, I know it's kind of hard to make out all the details here, but pretty cool ships. We try to put some shadows around them here. So you can see there kind of what the details look like on either side here. So yeah, I like them. They look cool. They're neat little ships. Maybe a choking hazard for small children, so keep that in mind. But they look pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see these bad boys painted up. I know somebody out there is crazy enough to do it. However, I am not. But they look like the 3D renders shrunken down for Armada, straight out of the X-Wing style. So I like them. Can't wait to get Dash Rendar in the fight, that's for sure. And then the new Havoc / Skurd H6 bomber. I'm interested about that one too. So pretty cool, pretty cool. That, of course, is the Rogues and Villains expansion pack for Armada. That was everything in the box. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been another unboxing from BoLS. This is AdamHarry signing off. Have a good one.